What is up, book lovers? Mega's here back in the library. So we have our next book for book club. Let me give you a little hint. This is how it's going to make you feel.
I feel infinite.
Oh yes, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. You guys voted for it. So that'll give you about a week and a half to get this. We're about halfway through To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, I'm so excited to read this. I cannot wait. So we are in chapter 13 and 14. This was a good one. You know, it brought up so many funny things. I love Scout. You guys know this, but just listen to this writing. So if you'll remember at the end of 12, their aunt is sitting on the porch, Aunt Alexandria. First thing out of her mouth is, Scout, stop scratching your head. Calpurnia, grab my bag. She's just already being a bitch, just like I thought I had remembered her in those past chapters. And then I love how Scout describes this. I heard the suitcase hit the bedroom floor with a thump. The sound had a dull permanence about it. And I think that meant everything she probably owned was in that bag, and just the sound of it, thought, oh God, she's going to be here a long, long time. And so she's trying to be tactful, but also trying to figure out, how long are you going to be here? Don't you want to go home? She goes, what about Uncle Jimmy? Right? Aren't you going to miss him? And the moment I said, won't you miss him, I realized that this was not a tactful question. Uncle Jimmy's presence or Uncle Jimmy's absence made no difference, right? It's just, there's nothing to this guy. Have you guys seen Arrested Development? Go watch that series if you haven't yet. It's so funny. And there's a character in that called, that's funny. I'm not even trying. Was it Anne? That's how forgettable she is. I think her name was Anne. She's in every episode, but that was the joke. No one recognized her or could remember her because she was just so plain. She didn't have really a presence there. And so that was the ongoing joke. Hilarious. So I believe her name was Anne. So this Uncle Jimmy's kind of like Anne. There, but not memorable. This I don't think it's funny. It kind of bugs me a little bit. But so Aunt Alexandria settles in, and now she's resuming her regular duties, right? Her missionary society. Here's the most awful person in the fucking world. Is this the one we want out proselytizing, bringing other people into her ideology? It just got me thinking, these fuckers, they don't even know they're bad people. I won't stay on this too long, but one of my favorite stories, because I find it fascinating, was the Nazi Guard, right? And this journalist goes, he's in his 80s, he's about to die, one of the last ones. She wanted to interview him and ask him, do you feel bad? Now that we see the museums and the little baby shoes and the horrific stories of torture, do you feel bad? And he says, of course I don't feel bad. I did it for God and for my country, right? They think they're the good guys. Oh, it drives me crazy. Speaking of this, I have to be careful how I touch on this. I have so many wonderful friends that live in the South. I have family. In my fact, I just mentioned that, I think, in yesterday's video. We had to go back to Texas for our family reunion. Our family comes from Texas. I don't like the South, guys. I don't like what they stand for. It's not that I hate all the people, but they're just not a lot of them are my kind of people, put it that way. And so Scout kind of touches on this, that their little town of Macomb, it was kind of separated from the rest of the world, and it grew inward. That's a nice way of saying it. New people so rarely settled there. The same families married the same families until the members of the community looked faintly alike. Oh, we call that bucktooth backwood cousin fuckers, but she said it a little nicer. She goes on to talk about family traits and how you could say, well, that family has this trait, right? This family are a bunch of liars. This family is a bunch of alcoholics, right? And I was thinking, my God, people, break the curses. Let's send off better ideology, better genes and thinking to the next generations. You don't have to keep living in that. Now, Atticus is getting pissed off, basically. The stress of the case is getting to him, and he snaps at the kids and kind of yells at them, and just Scout's not used to her dad being like this. She's thinking, that's not my dad, and that's not how he talks, and she began to cry. And so Atticus is pretty much just kind of repeating what Aunt Alexandra was saying about being a lady and all this, but then of course Atticus' heart kind of comes back to himself, and in the best way he could, tries to apologize, maybe make light, make some jokes and stuff. Let's see. So now we're into chapter 14, and Scout's remembering that Calpurnia said that she could come over to her house and neighborhood and visit, and Aunt Alexandria overhears this and says, absolutely not. And of course, Scout, she says, I wasn't talking to you. And now Atticus is torn. He agrees with his daughter, but it's just his upbringing. He sticks up for his sister and says, you got to respect adults. And let me first state that my children are amazing. They're perfect, and they're all grown and stuff. I didn't raise them to be respectful to their elders. I had more of a, if people are evil, fuck them kind of a mentality. I respect good people. I respect kindness. I don't respect people's status. I respect what they are. So Atticus, though, says, you must go apologize to your aunt. And then he goes in, and then Atticus himself has a fierce discussion with his sister because he did disagree with her. Jem talks about Tom Robinson. This case is just worrying their dad to death. Try to leave him alone, he's telling Scout. Scout does not like to be told what to do. It's not in her nature. It's not who she is. It's why I like Scout so much. So a fight breaks out. It says, with that, I was gone. You damn morphodite, I'll kill you. He was sitting on the bed, and it was easy to grab his front of his hair and land one on his mouth. He slapped me. I tried a left, but a punch to the stomach sent me sprawling on the floor. Nearly knocked the breath out of me. But it didn't matter because I knew he was fighting. He was fighting me back. We were equals. You ain't so high and mighty now, are you? I screamed, sailing again. He was still on the bed, and I couldn't get a firm stance, so I threw myself as hard as I could at him, hitting, pulling, pinching, gouging. What had begun as a fist fight became a brawl. We were still struggling when Atticus separated us. Oh, this girl kills me. What happened here, Atticus says. He was trying to tell me what to do again. I don't have to mind him now. Also, do I? Atticus smiled. Let's leave it at this. You mind Jim whenever he can make you. Fair enough? Oh, my God. Their rooms are adjoining. They're still bestest of friends, and so they're getting ready to go to bed, and Jim says, good night, Scout. Good night, I murmured, picking my way across the room to turn out the light. Then she steps on something in the dark, right? Scares her, doesn't know what it is, calls Jim. Jim, get in here. Ends up being Dill, had run away from home, and she stepped on his arm, headed to her bed. Jim goes and gets Atticus. Atticus calls his family to let him know he's okay. Says Atticus is mopping his face. He says, from rape to riot to runaways. We heard him chuckling. I wonder what the next 2 hours is going to bring. Oh, man. Let's see. What else stuck out to me in this? And you guys go to the comments too. Let me know. I know, Catherine, you're good at always picking out stuff I've missed. And I love the interaction. Please, all of you, say something. Hit that like button. Just let me know you're there. Let's see. Okay. So she's asking Dill why he ran away, right? Do they beat you? Are they mean? He's just feeling neglected. And Scout says, you know what? I almost ran away today for the opposite reason, because they're all there and around me, driving them crazy. She goes, Dill, you don't want your family around you all the time. Be grateful. Oh, and then as Scout's thinking about running away, she thinks, they need me, right? Calpurnia, Atticus, they wouldn't survive if I wasn't here. And then she's asked Dill, why do you think Boo Radley's never run off? Dill sighed a long time, thought about it, turned to me and said, maybe he doesn't have anywhere to run off to. Oh, what a wild ride in those 2 chapters. Great book. You guys still enjoying it? We're just about, halfway mark it looks like there. All right, guys, love you so much. Go ahead and get your Perks of Being a Wallflower book if you don't have it yet for our next book club. And no, I love you.